Black Madonna of Częstochowa is an early Christian icon painted in tempera on a wooden panel, notable for its stylized and frontal composition. The Virgin Mary is depicted holding the Christ child against a gilded background, both figures gazing directly at the viewer. The use of bold outlines and flattened space contrasted against the deep, soft roundness of Mary and Christ's facial features create a sense of spiritual stillness, communicating symbolic presence rather than natural representation. The palette is limited but rich, primarily featuring deep blues, reds, and golds. This was typical of Byzantine Christian depictions. In Byzantine Christianity, icons weren't meant to be portraits or decorations. They were meant to bring the presence of the sacred into the here and now. Scholar Barber describes icons as performative. They actively create an encounter between the viewer and the divine. Gold fleur-de-lis patterns decorated Mary's robe, and encircled both figures' heads almost like halos, representing their divine connection. The shadow cast on Mary's face from her hood, contrasted against the radiant background, paints her as a vision of wisdom, almost as if the pair had been cast down from heaven, or as if God's presence is smiling behind them. Her eyes appear directly to gaze into the viewer's soul as she raises her hand to her heart in a symbolic gesture of prayer and grace. Alfredo Tredigo reminds us, the gaze in icons is not psychological but spiritual. It invites the faithful into contemplation. Iconographically, the image represents Mary as Theotokos, or God-bearer. This was a traditional role in Byzantine Christianity. Christ is seen blessing the viewer with one hand while holding a symbol of divine wisdom in the other. He is small in stature and depicted with a solemn yet accepting expression. A historically meaningful feature of the painting is the two scars on Mary's cheek, which are believed to be the result of a 15th century attack on the painting by the Swedish. These scars were intentionally left visible and made to signify the resilience of the sacred and their role in resilience and human suffering. Anna Hamlin notes that these scars have come to symbolize shared suffering, the Virgin's wounds reflecting the hardships faced by the Polish people throughout their history. The painting is estimated to have originated in the Byzantine era sometime between the 6th and 9th centuries and was brought to Poland in the 14th century. There are legends surrounding how the painting arrived in Poland. It is said that St. Luke painted the painting and gifted it. The painting gained national recognition during the 17th century when it was credited with having defended the Jasna Gora Monastery during the Swedish invasion, a historic Roman Catholic monastery and important pilgrimage site in Poland due to the presence of the Black Madonna of Częstochowa itself. In recognition of this defense, Mary was crowned Queen of Poland, and the icon became both a religious object and a symbol of national identity. One of the most important icon types to come out of Byzantium, and one of the reasons why this painting is so revered, was the Hodegetria, or She Who Shows the Way. In this form, the Virgin Mary holds Christ on her left arm and gestures towards him, inviting the viewer to turn towards him for salvation. According to the Getty Iris, the origin story of this type, that it was painted by St. Luke, helped defend icons during the period of iconoclasm. Alfredo Tredigo calls the Black Madonna an excellent example of a Byzantine-derived Hodegetria. He also points out that her gaze is not psychological, but spiritual. It invites the faithful into contemplation. After iconoclasm, this icon type spread widely, through trade, pilgrimage, and the movement of monks. The Met Museum notes how standardized icon forms allow Marian imagery to travel and take root in new places, including Eastern Europe and Poland. This is exactly the tradition that shaped the Black Madonna of Częstochowa. While her exact origins remain debated, her composition clearly places her within the Hodegetria lineage. According to legend, the icon was painted by St. Luke and brought to Constantinople by St. Helena. The Madonna exemplifies early Christian and Byzantine approaches to art by emphasizing symbolic meaning and spiritual presence over realism. It is a piece that has carried meaning well into the era of Greco-Roman Christian art, yet its Southern Christian iconography stands apart in the way it prioritizes symbols of devotion and theological messaging. The icon's darkened skin tone and their intense contrast against the sun-like background cast Christ and Mary in a divine light. The gold background is not just decorative, as Charles Barber explains. It deliberately collapses space and time, surrounding the figures in a field of divine light that disrupts ordinary perception. The powerful effect of this feature has become central to the significance of this piece. Over time, the piece has taken on many new meanings. The performative nature of the Black Madonna continues in the living tradition of pilgrimage to Czestochowa. Since 1711, pilgrims have walked to the shrine, echoing the Byzantine practice of ritual processions through the streets. This is not a personal act of devotion, but a communal embodied experience. Judith Sampson notes that many modern pilgrims, especially women, come seeking healing. They approach the icon not as passive viewers, but as participants in a sacred dialogue, bringing their wounds and hopes before the Virgin. During Poland's long struggles, through partitions, Nazi occupation, and communist rule, pilgrimage to the Black Madonna became an act of resistance and national solidarity. Just as icons were carried in Byzantine processions to affirm orthodoxy in times of crisis, the Black Madonna became a symbol of unity and faith for the Polish people. It is now not only a deeply significant Christian and Byzantine piece, but a symbol of nationality for Poland, casting a gracious light and leaving an impact on each viewer with its powerful presence. I hope you found this video informative and now understand why the Black Madonna of Częstochowa's Byzantine iconography is so central to its reverence and its lasting effect on the world today. Thank you.